Greetings. Today we are reviewing our November 2025 financials. A few highlights here. Our budget will be updated and approved by the board in January. So what we're looking at today is still the October approved budget. You'll remember the board subsequently approved pay for all staff following that. That retro pay is going to go to staff on December 10th. All pay and benefits will be updated. Therefore, our staff salaries and benefits are still trending below budget, but this will be corrected when back pay is completed. And you will see that not in December, but you'll see that in January once we have the budget updated. On the revenue side of things, you can see we're trending slightly ahead of budget. You'll see in a minute, actually, you can see in the purple here, that's due to our state sources. Our system has difficulty in its algorithm picking up the accurate prediction of state sources, and that's because of the unique cycle that we're on with our debt payments and how much state aid we get. So we're still zeroing that in. Right now, as you see, the system expects we're going to receive more in state sources than we actually will. That won't actually come to pass. The state obviously has already certified the amount of state aid we'll get. So it will trend ahead, but we aren't going to end up ahead in that amount. On this slide, you can see the only real change from last month to this month is we've started to receive our special education aid. That has actually been in the news recently. You'll recall that the governor and legislature approved an increase in special education aid from about 33%, where it's been for the last several decades, to what was reported as 42%. The reason that's been in the news is DPI sent out their first payment. It's not going to equal 42% to all districts. The reason for that is because that is what the state calls a some certain amount. So the legislature set aside a set dollar amount, and that set dollar amount was anticipated to cover about 42% of all expenses. It appears that's going to be closer to probably 37 to 39%. That will not have a significant impact on our budget, as I budgeted lower than the 42%. The reason for that is we have always received, it's always been a some certain amount, and we've always received less than the percent that the legislature has touted. That will be updated as part of our budget update, and I will update the board specifically how much that dollar amount is, but it's not going to have a significant material impact on our budget. Here, you can notice I was talking about our state sources trending ahead of projection. Again, that is not going to end up, we aren't going to end up over budget on that revenue source. I wish we could, but we know exactly what that amount is going to be. On the expense side, as we have all year long, we're trending under on salaries and benefits. Again, that is because as of the end of November, we had not yet started paying raises or back pay. Again, once this all gets updated in January, you will start seeing salaries and benefits trending almost exactly on the projection. All other objects were within 1% of budget. That is better than last year at this time. I think we have a much better handle on exactly how we're budgeting things. Here you can see last month compared to this month. Again, the main point here is our total budget is the blue line. Obviously, through this point of the year, we're not going to have spent anywhere near the total budget yet. So really what we want to focus in on is our projection. So the algorithm would suggest we should have spent this much to this point in time. And orange is how much we've actually spent. You can see ever so slightly below, but what we're after is, are these two bars close? And you can see that they are. So essentially we're trending right on budget. Same thing here. We're comparing the orange line with the blue. Again, we want these lines to be close. We're significantly under budget here on salaries, but that's because of what I've talked about on previous slides. We're investigating purchase services further here. We think that we have an issue with the algorithm on both our uh, substitute teachers as well as building maintenance. So we're working on that to get that rectified. Um, Nevertheless, we do not intend, nor will we overspend on purchase services. Hey, here's our revenue and expenses to date. Again, this sort of left-hand column is last year through this time. Right-hand column is this year through this time. You can see in almost all areas where either in material areas anyway, either right on track compared to last year. And that is a good indicator because last year we finished better than budget. So as if we can be close to last year, that would indicate that we should finish better than budget this year as well. And here you can see our projections. So again, this is prior year to date, but really what we want to focus on is these blue area and this gray area. So here's what we have in this case, revenues received to date, expenses received to date. The algorithm predicts we're going to receive this much more and spend this much more, which will result in a total annual forecast against an annual budget. We still are budgeted to finish better. By better, I mean by putting money into fund balance. But again, I would right now take this with a bit of a grain of salt because you can see the major area where we anticipate having a surplus is in salaries, and we know that's not going to happen. We also aren't going to have a surplus on our state revenue. And additionally, we won't have a deficit in purchase services. Again, this is a tool to use to project, but also to help us zero in on where we're anticipating there could be issues and stopping them before they happen. So overall, we're still anticipating a budget to end up just about where budgeted or maybe slightly better. And again, the board will be approving a fully updated budget in January.